I really like drawing food, unlike cooking, and in this video I'm gonna show how I draw my favorite recent snacks. I'm gonna be using basic brushes from Procreate and Clip Studio because somewhere halfway I switched from Procreate to CSP. Originally, when I started drawing digitally, I went with Procreate because it was like the most accessible option at the time, and honestly there's just so many tutorials. But later I switched to Clip Studio because this is going to be actually a weird reason to switch to Clip Studio because I'm still a beginner, and I think Clip Studio is more like a pro level application software, but I have worked in Adobe software for many years and I'm just used to their super heavy loaded spaceship interface. So every time I would work in Procreate, I would feel like there is not enough controls for me. First of all, UI looks way more familiar. I like when I'm surrounded by all those buttons. It makes me feel that if I need some function, I'm gonna find it here or in the top menu. So this is why I switched. I've heard again people who have really strong opinions about which software is better, but I think each one is better for different things, and the best one is really the best one for you, and the rest doesn't really matter. And actually, I don't really draw food that much anymore because now I'm mostly drawing fan art, but I really wanted to share this because first of all, I really like how these drawings turned out, and this is honestly a warm-up in a way. And by warm-up, I mean I really want to share the process of me drawing the fan art stuff, but I think many artists will understand that in the beginning, or for some people not only in the beginning, it's kind of hard to draw when people are either looking like as you are drawing it, or it's kind of hard to draw when you know that you're actually making this piece for sharing, or you're just gonna share it later. And I think with time lapses, this is the case for me. Like if I'm recording a time lapse, I know that this is gonna go online, and I'm just I don't know, the whole process gets a little bit weird. Anyway, this is what I wanted to get out first. And honestly, this video editing looks a little bit weird because I was recording time lapse in whatever canvas aspect ratio that I had at the time, but now I have to fit it in YouTube's 16:9. I do hope to figure something out about this for the future. Anyway, this first drawing is actually just like a lot of snacks and other things I did for this October favorite spread that I did last year. And at that time, I was mostly drawing food, unlike now when I'm drawing mostly people, because I just want to learn how to do it better. But back then I was so afraid of drawing people. I actually did this short recently about what my 1 year of art progress looks like. And then I realized recently that this girl picture that I drew for Meet the Artist box kind of thing, like the doll box, I might have drawn it in, I think, April 2025, but actually I didn't really draw people at all until maybe like January or February this year. But yeah, now I mostly draw characters because honestly, only my favorite characters motivate me to draw, like to the extent they do, that made me make all this progress. And I honestly have so much respect and everything for people who just get inspiration out of nowhere, because in my case, I know that if it wasn't for my favorite game characters, I would not even start drawing again. I guess what I want to say is that it doesn't really matter what motivates you to do something, as long as it gives you that, motivation, that fuel, that inspiration. I think becoming good at what you do is good inspiration, like it's good enough. But honestly, we're all very different. And for me, becoming good as a thing is in itself was never really that much of a motivating factor, because I know that I can become good, but then as the reason, as the end of it all, I didn't really see it as my motivation. But when I think about my favorite characters, my motivation is I want to learn how to draw them in the best way possible. And now I'm still, I still haven't been drawing people for a really long time, but my motivation is presenting those characters for more people in a really, really pretty way. Well, not pretty, I mean in an art style that is also inspiring for people, or in a color palette or technique that is also inspiring or just makes people happy, I think this is what makes me so motivated when I'm drawing fan art is that I know how it can feel when you're looking at someone's interpretation of your favorite character, and it makes you really, really happy. At least looking at fan art of my characters, like from other artists, it does make me very happy. So this is something that I also want to do. Basically, the foods in the first one are the Belgian waffle, the mannequin one from Japan, and pepero. There's like pokis and peperos, and I know some people have really strong feelings about which one they prefer, but I don't really prefer a brand. It's just in this one I'm drawing pepero because at that moment a pepero box was in front of me, but I do prefer like certain flavors from each brand. For example, with Pocky, I'm currently obsessed with this one because the rich chocolate flavor is really nice. And what else? The caramel one for winter limited edition, that one is just divine. Now the next two are something that I ate recently all the time, actually, for real, instead of the so-called real food, and personally I don't have a problem with that. I mean, yes, it's not super healthy, but I'm so done with cooking, guys, you have no idea. I actually think many people have an idea, but it's just society conditioned us to be praising cooking for whatever reason and spending a metric ton of time on it. We glorify it so much that anytime someone says, actually, you know what, I don't want to say we glorify it because I certainly don't, and I refuse to sign up for this logic of glorifying spending this much time on basic maintenance. It feels like anytime someone says they don't like cooking or think it's a waste of time or they simply don't even have that time, just like many people give them this look or even have the audacity to comment. We somehow really forget the fact that cooking is a lot of work and that some people really need that time to use it for better things, to better their lives, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, I love delicious food, but cooking is just not something that I enjoy. It's honestly like brushing teeth for me because it's never just cooking, it's shopping for it, it's storing it, it's dragging it home, it's preparing, then washing the dishes that you used for preparing, then eating, washing those dishes, then storing the leftovers, and in case you're doing meal prep, then storing that, which is more work because in this case you probably have cooked more, and then it's just rinse and repeat for so many days, for so many years. And the more I live, the more I just really look at it as a chore. Like, does it need to be done? Yes. Do I enjoy it? No. I mean, sometimes I do enjoy some occasional cooking, but I really don't enjoy the other stuff that are involved in this. And let's be honest, cooking itself usually is just 20% of this whole bunch of things that, you know, are involved in cooking. So no. Just leave me with my bagels. And this is it. I hope next time I can actually share a time lapse of the fan art, but we will see.